Well, I'll get the thoughts from the boat right now, Jonathan. He's making a habit of this, David. We saw 2 weeks ago in Spain, Jenson Button snatch pole by the skin of his teeth. He goes and does it again today. You've been on pole here. Martin talked beautifully about what it feels like going out there for that flying lap. How does it feel to actually take pole? What will Jenson be feeling just about 400 yards over there?
Well, I have a great picture at home and I've got a smile from ear to ear. I think it was possibly the happiest moment of my racing box ticked in trying to achieve the victory here.
We'll have a look at Jenson's onboard lap right now. The guy just
through Casino Square, just skiffing the barrier on the left, skiffing it on the right. Bit of wheel spin as he comes over the rise, and then down into Mirabeau, obviously where Lewis Hamilton dropped it, hugs the barrier nice and tight, in the short run down into Lowe's.
Looked like some people were getting the best out of the tyres on the first lap and then the second lap. How did you play it?
Well, we were going for the second lap, and we saw that Kimi in particular got a very good lap on the third lap, and I think Rosberg. But of course, in the last session, when you're putting fuel on, you put a bit of extra load, a bit of extra heat into the tyres, so we stayed with our two-lap approach.
So how are you looking for the race, fuel-wise? Obviously, you've done qualifying now, the most important qualifying of the year.
Well, we're targeting 20 laps in the race, so we'll see what the others are doing, and then take it from there.
Standard two-stop, maybe a slightly shorter first stint than you'd like.
Well, I'm not going to say what we're going to do, but the fuel weights will be out in an hour, and that's what we're targeting.
But tyre-wise, you think they're okay for two stops? You wouldn't go for anything other?
I think the tyres are fine, yeah. Tyres are quite durable, and this is a track where the rubber just keeps coming and coming, so it will, I think they'll be fine, the tyres. Not really too concerned about them.
Thanks, Ross. Well done.
Well, they talk about an era of openness in Formula One, and Ross Brawn already letting us know Jenson Button's got 20 laps of fuel on his car. Let's go through the grid and first of all mention Jenson Button. And Ross Brawn said in an interview this week, Eddie, he didn't know if he was World Championship material because he hadn't worked with him. But now I think that he's starting to feel Jenson has that extra little something.
Well, he should know because he's been with so many world champions in his fabulous career that Jenson is probably getting close to being better than what he's ever had before. Now, that says something when you consider people like Ralf Schumacher, etc. But Jenson has not let anyone down, himself, his fans or anyone. He has done it in the most unbelievable fashion. But to do it here in Monaco, which by his own standards he says is not a great particular track for him, and this is outstanding.
Well, of course, Eddie, you meant Michael Schumacher there. I think you were giving Ralph a massive boost there by suggesting that he was one of the greats that Ross had worked with. But, you know, there's no question in my mind, just coming back to Jenson, that he is in the best place in his career right now to make the most of this great car. And what we're seeing is a man digging deep, full of confidence and delivering fantastic laps.
OK, let's hear from Jenson Button now, get his thoughts on being the pole sitter. Actually, we'll do that very shortly. We'll hear from Jenson. Let's just talk about Ferrari, because it looks like, Eddie, one of the other headlines from Quali today, Ferrari are back.
I was critical, and rightly so, I believed, in Spain last week about Raikkonen, and he has proved me wrong, and he's got himself together. And possibly this little shock waves that happened in the earlier races has done the necessary evil and made sure that they got rid of those demons, and he's absolutely on the case here. It's fantastic what he's achieved, and he could have easily have got pole.
A quick mention on Sebastian Vettel as well. 12 months ago he qualified 19th, he ended 5th. He clearly likes racing here. Do you expect him to move up and be threatening for the top?
Yeah, qualifying clearly is very important, but if they're on a similar fuel strategy, then I would expect him to have a real chance to push in the middle part of this race. OK, well, Sebastian Vettel sits 4th, Jenson Button sits 1st. Here are his thoughts. On pole, there you go. Understatement of the year, I think. We talked about the fact that this isn't a natural circuit for Jenson Button. It's amazing how comfortable a driver can feel in the right car. Yeah, he knows the streets well. He lives here. He's been a resident for several years. He hasn't had a great run, and his record here has not been fantastic, but what a great day for him. And you could see the smile on his face. He knows mentally that this win is half in the bag already because of the advantage that pole position comes. So the only thing that can get in the way now, if the weather stays dry, is if the start doesn't work out. And the dreaded curse that you seem to dislike so much, Eddie, is sitting second on the grid there. Kimi Raikkonen, he'll have his eyes on taking that lead at the first corner.
I think it's going to be difficult. Jenson, he needs to think carefully over the night how he's going to approach this, because for sure the Ferrari's going to lead into the first corner because of the advantage that they have got with the cars, and he just has to sit there.
OK, well, just to apologise very quickly that we couldn't bring you the full driver's press conference. We've run out of time here on BBC One. However, on the BBC Sport website, you will see the full press conference and loads of other interviews and reaction to today's qualifying from here at the Monaco Grand Prix. But whatever you do, join us tomorrow. Alan Prost famously said that winning this race is worth half a world championship. Well, can Jenson Button turn pole into 10 points? You'll find out tomorrow, 12:10, right here on BBC One. That's the Monaco Grand Prix. live. Well, there you go. It's the race here in Monaco, the place where people come to watch people. But tomorrow, all the eyes will be on one man for one very good reason. Jensen is on pole.
Oh dear me, that's not going to help at all. Oh my word, hello Lewis Hamilton, where are you going? Lewis Hamilton is not looking happy.
Oh, he's going into Barry with that.
Look at that.
Jensen Button's found something again.